Hello Tea and Trails listeners, this is Charlotte Mountford and I am out on the streets of a Durham town while my eldest child warms up for his rugby match. I am not even running. I'm out for a walk with not a cheese and pickle sandwich today, peanut butter and Marmite. I've had a bit of a shit show of a year with injuries, first of all an overreactive nerve, followed up by a torn MCL, just about getting back to fitness. But if this last year has taught me anything, it is actually to finally go a little easy on myself when needed. And I've been full of a cold this week, and so whilst I would normally be doing my Saturday long run at this moment in time, just moving is enough. And if Eddie and her iron issues have taught us anything, it should be that. Get out, get in the fresh air, move where you can, and go easy on yourself. So with that, make yourself a cup of tea, stir in whatever supplements it is that you add to that, and enjoy this episode of Tea and Trails with Gary and Eddie.
I'm such a sad case. I checked Malaga webcam, cloudy. Happy to report.
Did that make you feel happy?
I did. I'm so nasty. Hello and welcome to the Tea and Trails podcast. Eddie stopped me from saying the number one trail running podcast. I checked. We currently are still.
No, it gives me the ick. I'm like, we're not doing this. We're not doing this for the kudos, Gary. We're doing this for the little emails that, yeah, I know what you're doing it for. Little emails that slip into the inbox saying, thanks so much. I've done this. I've done that. Without you guys, I'd be nothing.
I want the top spot. Sponsorships and the kudos. That's why I'm here. Some wise words this week from Charlotte Mountford. Sorry, Charlotte, it's been such a tough year.
Oh, really sorry.
We were blessed. We did share the trails with Charlotte earlier in the year.
She was a ray of sunshine,
Yeah.
a radiator. She was hilarious.
That seems like such a long time ago, doing the recce for the Tea and Trails Ultra. Please keep those intros coming. Email them to hello@teaandtrails.com. Kudos, high five and big hugs to all our patrons and everybody who's joined Patreon over the past week. I think when you asked last week, how's Patreon doing? We had a little flurry.
Oh, I guilted you. I guilted you into joining. That's kind. If you did, or if you are a patron, we do appreciate it. We do really appreciate it, and it keeps us going, the grind going.
For the price of a cuppa, you literally keep the lights hot and the mics on and save big time in all your trail running essentials. Loads of brands offering great discounts over on Patreon. And don't forget, if you would like a snood or a bobble hat, then you need to add your address to Patreon. No address, no goodies. Also join Patreon for a year and you will save 10% on your membership. And if you join the Legend tier or above, we'll send you a bobble hat too. Also, you can gift Patreon. So if you have a Tea and Trails fan in your life, then spread the love and treat them to the ultimate podcast gift. I've ordered snoods and bobble hats. So yeah, if you're waiting patiently for one, they are on their way.
Thanks to X Miles Precision Fuel Hydration, Harrier Trail Running, Phoenix Light UK and Protein Rebel for sponsoring our show. X Miles is a family-owned, independent endurance sports retailer providing nutritional goods, apparel and accessories to help athletes perform and recover at their best. X Miles offers a wide range of high-quality products from leading brands, and the team of nutrition experts, cyclists, runners and outdoor enthusiasts can provide expert advice and guidance to help you reach your goal. Whether you're a seasoned athlete like Gary or just sort of young, flexible and mobile like me, X Miles is the perfect place to find everything you need to succeed. Listeners can get 10% store credit at www.xmiles.co.uk or via the link in the show notes. My mum and dad are staying at the moment and he admired my Tea and Trails cat. I tried to palm off another Yugoku black one. I said, well, if you like that one, you could wear this black one. He's like, no, I want a podcast one. So we know what's coming his way for Christmas. He'll be dumping around the trails in his Tea and Trails cat. Pop over to Yugoku Projects if you'd like one, and don't forget patrons can receive 20% off. If you're looking for the discount codes, head over to Patreon, teaandtrails.com, or check out the show notes. Gary, I had a little listen of your edit. I don't listen to the podcast. I'm really sorry because I trust your edit and I cannot stand. But do you think I talk too fast?
Well, I think we probably both talk too fast.
I was like, whoa, Eddie, calm down. So today I'm going to be My
see
voice is so
how that
annoying.
goes.
I cannot believe people listen to that screechy overtone. So you might notice my voice is different this week, so I'm going to try and talk lower.
Gravitas.
And slower.
Radio
with a bit
2.
more gravitas.
Oh, Radio 4. Radio 4,
I
isn't
think
it?
it's more Radio 4. We listen to 5 Live quite a lot in our house because we've got spots fans and they talk really fast on there and quite high pitch.
Big news now, house. We bought a radio. It's awesome just having that background noise, and I've never...
Oh, have you not? I have a radio on 24/7 in my kitchen.
Yeah, well, I used to do that, but not anymore. So yeah, you're Radio 5. I'm like 6 Music and Radio 5, and then BBC Newcastle at the weekend when the match is on.
Oh, hello, when the match is on. I told Rory that you were looking forward to the Sunderland-Tottenham derby, but he says you had to look up. He said it's not till January, Mum.
Man United beat Sunderland the other day. One half of the Sutton household.
Nice.
How many United fans in the house?
There's 2 United, 1 Tottenham, 1 Liverpool. I think the Liverpool fan is just a Liverpool fan because she likes the kit.
I wonder, the Ugoko project team, they must know. I wonder where the hot spots are in the country.
For the Caps?
For the Caps, yeah, where they're going to.
I need to just take it up with them that I think the peak, I need a winter peak and a summer peak. Excellent for summer. But winter, it's a little bit too big for my head torch.
Exactly, yeah. I was out on a jog the other day and I noticed this arc, this black arc.
Yeah, where exactly you need it. By your feet. I was like, so then I put it on backwards, but then I get a sore bit. But it's been so windy, I have to have a cap on. Otherwise, it did actually blow off on the Saturday and went down the road. And I was like, oh, an extra 20 metres. Yeah, I'll pick it up.
That's a good shout, actually. So you get a big peak and a shorter peak. I'll be all over that. If you're listening, guys.
We could just trim it. Then I'd need another one though.
No, I'd wreck it.
How you doing? How you feeling? Last week a little weary. This week
much better. Back in the room. Yeah, you've had a much more exciting week than me. Do you want to go
I
first?
have had such an exciting... No, it's not exciting. Let's not... People will be like, what's she been doing? Absolutely nothing.
Well, the highlight of my week was having a new toilet cistern fitted. So, yeah, you got much more to share than me.
I got any toilet chat. I did get some new bleach in the Tesco delivery. Love that. Go around the kids' loo going, this is how you clean the toilet, kids. What's that for, Mum?
In one ear,
oh, they come and they go,
the other.
It doesn't smell nice, Mum. I'm like, this is clean. All my weeks start with such good intent and then gradually decline till by Sunday I'm a shell of a woman. I managed 3 hours on the bike, pushing some pretty impressive watts. I think more than I've got fitter on the bike. I thought this morning. I've just got better at like dealing with the pain because it set me these 2 minutes and I was like, there's no way I can push 1 minute at that and then 1 minute harder. That's horrible session, which I'd never do running, especially at the moment. But I was like, I'm just going to try. And then of course, because it's a bit gamified, Zwift, I don't want to fail it then. I want to complete it and I want to get the gold star. I think I'm just getting more confident. I guess people will recognize this as well. You see a big increase when you start doing something new anyway. You see a big jump in the fitness. And I think a lot of it does come from confidence that I can do that. I just have to have still really happy in zone 2. My zone 2 is getting bigger, Gary. There's more scope. I can push it that little bit higher. But the minute it goes into anything higher, it just does feel horrible. And then I notice how long it takes me to recover. And I feel so sorry for Eddie because I'm like, before I knew this, I remember saying on the podcast, I'm so unfit. So I'm really pushing hard and I'm not taking recovery. And I'm like, oh, Eddie. So I pushed a little bit harder on the bike, which felt good, but I just have to give myself like where you'd normally give yourself a minute. Yep. It takes me like 3 minutes and that's fine. But again, another little step forward in that I wasn't able to do that 2 weeks ago. So I'm really happy with that. I ran up a hill, Gary. So I've got a local hill. It's 20 minutes long. How lucky am I? All runnable. The last little bit is a bit of a switchback and that gives your butt cheeks a bit of a whoo, but you can see the top. You can see the pylon at the top. So you can't slack. And I ran up it just at like nice comfy pace because I park the car at the bottom of it. I'm so lazy. I don't even park the car like half a mile away. I'm like, I'm not running an extra step. So I just went straight. It's so bad, but I'm taking it that...
You just straight up the hill?
Literally, I got out the car and I was like, a professional would do like the bands and warm up. And I was like, sod that. I've not got time for that. I used to follow a triathlete and she had a baby and she was like prolific Ironman racer. And the minute she had the baby, she was like, I don't have time for warm up and cool down anymore. I get out and I do my session. So I still live by that of like, I'm still gonna get my session done. If I don't warm up and don't cool down, it's just going to be nasty. The initial, wouldn't it be nice to have like 15, 20 minutes, nice, easy, cruisy, warming out? That's going to feel better. I have time for that. But I've been doing this long enough that I'm like, I'm just going to take the first 10 minutes. It's just going to feel horrible. And then...
Well, that's the classic runner's warm-up, isn't it? The first 10 minutes. But the only time, even on a race day, I don't think I've ever warmed up on races that are important for me. The only time I'll ever do a proper warm-up and cool down is if I ever go to Sedgefield and do the session.
So I went to the hill, I parked at the bottom, and I was like, I'm just going to tap up this hill and see how long it takes me to get to the top. Because I've got a bit of metrics.
Up the hill.
I'm going to tap up the hill, probably put some good tunes on. Oh, and as I turned my headphones on, they said battery low, and I was planning on running like 75 minutes, and I thought, what would you do? Would you listen to the music going up the hill with the danger that then you're going to run out of battery, or would you save it and listen to it at the back end of the run?
Roll the dice. I'd chance it.
I rolled the dice. It didn't run out, so I was like, well, why are you threatening me? You're not welcome in this relationship with these threats. Anyway, ran up the hill. It was 1 minute quicker than my tempo pace that I ran just before Race Across Scotland.
Incredible.
And I got to the top. I was watching my heart rate, and I was like, don't push it, Eddie, because I was like obviously thinking, but I want to beat that. So I was like, there was the devil and the
don't
good
beat the workout.
Don't beat the workout. Come on, this is just a steady. Don't go above 145. Don't go above 145. So I didn't go above 145, and I remembered getting to the top before and being absolutely bushed when I got to the pylon just for a Race Across Scotland. And I just got to the top, and then it goes like undulating. You're at the top of the moors. I just ran on, and I was like, this is great. And then I had a great run. Loved it. And round, up and down, blah, blah, blah. I added a little bit of uphill treadmill, a bit more. Again, just after Race Across Scotland, I started back on the uphill treadmill because it's a great way to get back into running without not the impact as much, but it just feels easier to run uphill sometimes. Sometimes mentally I find it easier as well to jog uphill than to go for a run. I used to think that it was my treadmill that was wrong. Because I'd set clients the same stuff that I was doing, and they would tell me the speed, and I'd be like, your treadmill's wrong because you're running faster than me, and I think I'm the fastest person in the world. So I'd just be like, my treadmill's wrong, but it wasn't. It was right, because now I'm like, oh, I am running a whole mile an hour quicker at percentage, 10% or 5%, whatever I'm doing, with like such a lower heart rate response. I'm looking back on my whiteboard going, my God, this was 4.5 miles, whatever. That was your rep pace. And now this is not your 120, it's just like a different person. It is like a different person. But I heeded my own and your warning, and I did a little mini workout of 10%, 30 minutes, each 10 minutes, just a little bit faster, but I never went above that top end zone 2. I kept it really comfy and felt good.
15 beats a minute, Eddie, that is enormous.
Oh, the fitness gain I've got from iron. I haven't needed to do any training, actually. So I'm back off my half training plan. My HRV, I was going back along in its line, right back along this year. And it is 20, whatever it is, higher. So It used to be in like high 30s, low 40s, and now it's 60-ish, 70-ish. My poor heart.
You know, the information you get from these devices is a bit sketchy, but that's roughly, I think Garmin has my zone 3 at like 127 to 142 beats a minute. So that is a whole zone.
It's a whole zone. I feel I've created this whole zone, massive more zone 2 that I didn't have before.
Eddie zone.
Eddie's zone is there. Even my breathing rate at night. So my ring measures my breathing rate. I don't know if your ring measures your breathing rate.
It does. I don't look at it.
Oh, I love it, because also it shows me when I'm going to get sick, and that is so much lower as well. So I think I'm even breathing less. Everything is less. Generally in life, things are less grey. So I have to get up at 5 to do everything. And that's personal choice, everyone. Don't feel sorry for me. I just like to get ahead of the day. And I really enjoy nobody sending me any WhatsApps. Unless they do. And if you do, you are evil. At that time in the morning, I still have sleep mode on. It's not killing me like I think it was. I will continue to be careful and to build, but I'm itching to do a long run. So I'm hoping I might get to 12 miles this week and carry on. So I'm trying to do keep my bike in. I missed my bike over the weekend because, Gary, I'm such a dumbass. I knew the storm was coming, and I study the forecast, and it said loads of rain, then a bit of a gap, and then this high wind. Now, if Bryn had been here, he would have done the military get everything ready for the storm. But what was I doing? I think I was just catching my tail on Friday, because we'd done loads of podcasts during the week, and I knew that I was solo parenting, so I needed to get ahead with plans and stuff. So I just was working, but I hadn't done our pre-storm putting the football goals away from the garden, and the umbrella was still out from the summer, and the table and chairs were still, the cushions were still on. This is such bad yard work. work. We had this like torrential rain. Our whole lane was flooded. It went above the boot of the car.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's going to go in, it's going to go in. Anyway, so we had the torrential rain. Then there was this gap before the wind came. So I thought, I'll get the kids from school in that gap. So I waited for the rain to go and then drove through all the floods, got the kids from school and then came back. The scariest driving conditions. The windscreen wipers couldn't flick the rain away quick enough. And then I was holding the steering wheel, like feeling the wind, like holding against the turbulence. That was the moment I decided I probably wasn't going to be a pilot, Gary. It was still up there with like, maybe that could be my future career. And I thought, I come to struggling holding the Volvo XC, whatever it is.
My Facebook is flooded with pilots crushing it and like landing planes in this storm.
I'm not good at that because my arm started hurting and I got all stressed and I was going, oh my God.
Yeah.
Finley was pissing himself next to me. Anyway, we got back fine. As we got back, the wind was so strong, Gary, we could not hardly get into the house, shut all the doors and everything. And then we looked out into the garden. Oh, woo! Football goal going across garden bench going. It was so strong. And I was like, how much do I care about that? Shall I just let that go? But then I thought, if it blows into a window, oh, that is stupid. So we had to go out and we did manage to get the umbrella in, the goals in. We got everything in, or so I thought. The lights started flickering and I thought, oh God, I am not ready for a power cut. So the lights went off. And then they came back on and I said, we was a pizza night on a Friday. So I was like, quick, put the pizzas in the oven, get it done, get it cooked. So we put them in and it stayed on for about 10 minutes and the pizzas were frozen. And so they were sort of cooked, kids still ate them. And then it all went off and that was it. We were in the dark, nothing, all dark. And we were in the middle of nowhere. So it literally is pitch black. We've got one torch. I've got that. Where is all the camping stuff? It's all out in the garage. Then I remembered we had been happily sponsored by Phoenix for a number of years now. And I have a lot of batteries. So I went in the little back room where I keep all my sports nutrition and my head torches and charging equipment. And everybody enjoyed an evening with the Phoenix head torch. We played around with them. I think the kids found all sorts of different things they did. The red lights, the flashing lights. Everyone was able to get all their stuff ready for the next day, brush their teeth, sort stuff out. It was so bright. It was like we had the lights on the house, but we had nothing to. It's amazing what you use for power that you forget about. And we also had no internet and then no phone, no phone signal. Wow. All by myself, Gary. I was like, this is not good for Eddie. As I'm going off to sleep, text message from Scottish, whatever it is. Your power will be restored 8 p.m. on Monday evening.
I'll text them back. Not good enough, Scottish.
This is not good enough. Okay, initial like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then I was like, we'll be fine. We've got our head torches. Wish I'd done some charging of stuff. You idiot, Eddie. Before this happened, I wish I'd got all the camping lights out. I can do that all tomorrow at some point. Woke up early the next morning because I thought I need to go and check what's happened in the garden. The fencing was all intact, but the garden shed took the brunt. The storm must have, I don't know what happened, but it must have like got in through the door, the wind, got so angry it can get out. Because it's just like, the shed's just died. It's just gone.
Amy won the shed.
So the shed's just gone. I can't do this. I'm just collapsing. I was like, you and I, we feel the same. I've just left it. I'm not touching it. Bryn can deal with that.
Have you sent him a picture?
Sent him a picture and gone, that's for you. It's like, do you think our matches are still on? And I was like, I'll get you there, kids. I'll get you there. Don't worry. We can get you there. The storm damage was incredible. I took the dogs out for a run then later on the Saturday morning and I couldn't, all my runs, the tracks are like, can't get through. I saw the Scottish electric people out like with all their hard hats and I thought, do I ask them when my power's coming on? I thought, I don't think they need Eddie right now to go.
You should have done it.
How long do you think they have? Anyways, running along track, climbed over about 4 trees with the dogs, met this woman and she was like, oh, you won't get through up there. There's huge trees down. And I was like, well, there's huge trees down back there and we've got through. So I think we'll be fine. Ran on up the track. Anyway, the tree was, I could not get over the tree. I tried. It was massive. And I was slightly nervous that it would like roll and kill me and kids are at home. I can't go back past this woman because I've told her I've already climbed 4 trees.
Failed.
And she'll she'll think I failed. I said I'd be out for like 40 minutes, ended up being like an hour and 20 because then I had to go all the way around the lanes because I was like, this woman can't see me coming back because she'll know that I couldn't climb the tree. It was hilarious. Anyway, I can't believe how quickly our power did come back on, I think I messaged it, was it Sunday night? How we take for granted electricity, heating, Wi-Fi.
I think it smashed the countryside so hard because the trees are all still in leaf.
Do you reckon? So the wind got in the leaf. I can't believe the huge trees that it blowed down, how strong it must be. But also, I think because the ground was so wet, because we had so much rain before, that then it's like they work together.
We just dodged it.
Yeah, I think
windy, but nothing like what you had.
No, it was exciting. It would have been more exciting if Bryn had been here because he'd have loved it and he'd got a
imagine all those trampolines moving around Scotland.
Yeah, our trampoline seems it's so big, our trampoline. It seemed to survive just the garden shed. And then when I was running on Sunday, I thought, I don't feel good, Carrie. I feel tired. Why am I so tired? I thought, my diet of crackers and tomato soup for the last 2 days.
Pizza.
I had to. We have 2 freezers in the bottom of the fridges. They're not very big, but we have got 2 fridges because we've got 800 children, and I had to chuck everything away. It all melted.
Wow.
Oh, my dad was
bucks.
like, get back, reimburse, like take pictures and then get, cash back. And I was like, I think
I've never claimed on contents insurance.
It did say that we could have £30 per day, I think it was, per person to claim back for meal replacements. There's people that need that more than I do.
Yeah, but the shareholders get it, not somebody else doesn't get it.
Oh, it doesn't go to the little old lady down the road that needs the tomato soup. Anyway, so that was exciting. So the week running-wise, started off really good. And then obviously life just took over and the soup did not fuel that very well. And then I couldn't go on my treadmill and I couldn't go on my bike because I had no power. I wasn't hugely sad. I'll live for another day. So the moral of the story is listen to the weather forecast and get yourself ready.
I'm always optimistic. I just don't think it's going to happen.
If you were hit by the storm, I hope you're all right. If you didn't have power like us, I hope you're all right. If you're out running, I didn't see a lot of running of people dodging trees and stuff. So I do think it was quite Scotland. Lots of sporting events cancelled.
I think the highlight, well, it wasn't the highlight of my week, that's not fair, but one of the high points of the week is we had our toilet fixed. And it had been so bad for so long. I'd created like a knack of flushing it. I was like the Fonz. But if somebody came around the house and they needed to go to the toilet downstairs, that was quite stressful. But it's a bit of an overshare, I suppose. But it will shift anything. It's incredible.
Do you have that written above it? Don't worry, let yourself go. This will shift anything.
But I think it's been a big week in ultra running. I saw John Alban took the win. Killian doing his thing. Courtney smashing out a sub 250.
I saw she'd done something and I didn't have time to see what it was or if it was how fast she ran it.
Yeah, 249 awesome. I think. But the big news of the week is your one and only Gareth Waits is the V50 Seven Valleys Ultra champ.
I mean, why did you not open with that? How have you kept this? How have we been on this Zoom an hour and a half?
They're going to put a bench up on High Street, I think.
Yes.
This is where Gary vommed. But loads of walking. I think like anybody who's recovering from a big race, literally dog walking all week, apart from 2 super cruisy dog jogs of the village.
Every time I messaged you, I just got Rex back. I like that. We don't need to converse by, can you do it now? I just get Rexy back.
Picture of Rex.
Much prefer that than any of your chat or pictures of you. Little Rexy's tummy.
I have missed running, but not enough to do that. 2.5, whatever it was. 2.5.
Oh no, I'm so glad you didn't do that.
And every day Garmin had me doing a session. I think because I hadn't done it, it just needed to be satisfied until I'd done this. I think even today it's still saying do a threshold session. The big takeaway for me probably is currently I'm struggling to take my hand out of the physical cookie jar, not the race entry cookie jar. I'm on beers, burgers, bars of chocolate. I made myself feel a little bit sick a couple of times during the week. My mission...
You're a teenage boy.
My mission was to basically eat all the Freddos, which I've done, eat the tonics, eat the Mars bars, a lot of food that I'd bought basically for Seven Valleys Ultra, every scenario in my drop bag. They've all gone, but I've just found a little cheeky packet of toffee toffee crisps. That's going to be my little test. When I'm training for a big race, I like these little reminders to remind me of the challenge ahead. So when I'm tempted by toffee crisps, so what I'm doing, I think Amsterdam Marathon, I put little reminders on all the cereal cupboard. So when I opened the cereal cupboard, just about to have the 5th bowl of Honey Nut cornflakes, I put the Amsterdam Marathon logo on the inside of those doors. So every time I opened that door, I'd remind myself, you've got a serious task coming up in a few months.
Never heard anything so sad.
You've never done that? Oh my goodness.
Why would I do that? If I'm hungry, I'd eat it. I'd never, ever deprive myself.
I should eat something else.
Of,
I should maybe not have the Honey Nut cornflakes or the Mars bar. I should have a bowl of yogurt, something like that. So I've changed my desktop on my computer to the Northern Traverse map. So it's a constant reminder. And I've got my little, it's pretty sketchy nutrition because currently I can see some jelly tots, the toffee crisps. Just need a little reminder just there on front of the cookie jar. Don't eat these treats. So I did a very early bag test for the Northern Traverse. My ultimate direction, fast pack 30, that gobbled everything up.
12 litres. 12
You had a
litres,
12?
Gary.
I just couldn't get it all in. I've got a 17 litre.
What are you putting in?
All the kit. I've got quite light kit.
Waterproofs, mid-layer.
Then you need your insulated jacket. You need to carry a 300 gram insulated jacket. I probably could get it all in, but not in a state where I wasn't kind of pulling everything out to get access to something. So you had a 12 litre.
Yeah, I'll do it again, Gary. I'll do it again.
Oh, I'm thinking 20. I need a repack then. Because I've got like
12 litres, smooth and buttery, 5-minute Ks.
I definitely can't. I can't see.
I messaged James Nobles and asked him what he used to remember before I did it the first time, and he said 12 litre. I looked at all the race photos of like people all finished in the top 3, 4, all in 12 litres.
Well, I've been looking at race photos. I don't know if they're top. I just looked at the Northern Traverse race photos, and they were having at least 20 litre packs.
Depends what you want out of the race, Gary. I absolutely say if you are going to be moving a little bit slower, if you want to have the reassurance of tons of layers and tons of food, then absolutely you never do what anyone else is doing. You carry enough to make you safe on the hills. But also I'm much smaller than you, so my tops and things are generally just a bit smaller as well. So I can grab it all in.
30,
you're going to be wearing
miles.
most of it. Anyway, your bag is going to be so empty.
This is true. Actually, what am I going to wear? Well, you've got like, say, 30, 40 miles between your drop bag. So you've got to carry a lot of food.
But you don't need to carry that much food because you will not eat as much as you would over like 100k or 120k. Anyway, I really want to talk about this now because it's way too early. I'm not in Northern Traverse chatting mode yet.
Oh no, I've been looking at, if all goes well, which shops I'll pass.
I'm not interested. You won't shop past any. There's one.
Well, yeah, because Shap was pretty quiet.
You just get the garage and
Kirby
you won't want to
Stevens is
stop
going to
there.
be quiet. I don't want to use the Lordstone's calf because they've got to cook something and there's actually the support point
There's a
there.
checkpoint there, so you won't use that.
Gromont might be open, depending on when you pass.
The only place...
Well, it wasn't when you did. Feeling sorry for yourself.
Gromont? Oh no, that was in the middle of the night. That was like 3 o'clock in the morning. The only place I passed the pub going down into Reeth, that was open. We got a Fanta and a packet of crisps there. And then the other place that was open was the garage as you cross over onto the moors, but I didn't stop there because...
Yeah, so I don't see me generally popping into shops and purchasing stuff. So I'm going to carry it all. I tried on my Instinct stretchy belt that I wore on the Lakeland 100, I think 2024. That doesn't fit me currently.
Oh my God, Gary, you are...
I've gone full animal. So my goal is, I'm not really going to step on the scales or anything like that. My goal is literally to be able to put that on without it strangling me. Although I'm trying to not eat the treats. So Sunday, I think Saturday, I'd give myself a full week of doing what I want to do.
Yeah, you need it. You need that big calorie to recover.
But then yesterday, Lisa and I were out. We had a big, massive slab of ginger cake. So it's work in progress.
Can you send me a picture of you with the belt on?
Nope.
Just naked. I'll put that up as my screensaver.
Probably what was a surprise highlight of the week, actually. Saturday night, George and I went to Thai boxing. Completely different vibe to the previous week, but you could still see community. This was like locally organised, so you could see the volunteers were serving up the food, serving up the teas and coffees and stuff like that. George wants to have a fight. I was like thinking, is this like kind of put you off watching lots of people getting kicked in the nuts, kneed in the nuts? That was an
Is
observation.
that allowed?
Well, no, it's not allowed, but because you're trying to knee people in the chest, I think it's quite common to...
The knee hits, yeah.
I thought it would put George off. It's quite... When you see a grown-up getting punched, that's quite a strange thing to witness, but no.
I didn't like that. No, I wouldn't like that.
He fed off the adrenaline. He actually wants to go and fight, but thankfully, I think he's a little way off. He's quite early days in his Thai boxing career, if that's the right word. I'm really happy that he's into something and he's actually really enjoying it. But as soon as those grown-ups came on, it got very serious, very quick. There was blood, elbows, kicks, knocks downs.
It's just going to be like Northern Traverse.
But yeah, total different vibe to 13 Valleys. That was my takeaway.
Can we talk about a week of rest? Because I've just been WhatsApping a few clients that I give most people a week of rest.
Yeah.
And I cannot, it should be the law. You do a big race and you rest for a week. Why would you not? One, there is studies that shows you how big, how large, which is why you've had your hand in the cookie jar, that the metabolic rate is like huge. You need to refuel, recover. And the injury risk is so high. And people always, I tell you the way it goes, I could draw you a little line graph of going, do the race. Next day, feel tired. Next day, feel a bit more tired. Hormones dip. I think I could go for a run. Normally comes on day 3 or 4, post a big thing. The reply is no, don't do it. Put your hand back in the cookie jar. Put your head in the cookie jar. Keep eating. Do not run. Do not run.
But people run for different reasons. If you run them for, say, maybe mental health, but I maybe wouldn't do a challenge that wrecked me for a week or two if I was running for mental health.
If you had to go out, I totally get that. And if that is your ball, just skip forward in the podcast. If you can take that week, because the injury risk is so high as well, and play the long game like you've done, just eat, recover, and tell the body then gets the message, oh yeah, I'm resting, I'm going to recover, I'm going to recuperate mentally and physically. That week off afterwards, if you don't do it, just try it.
I didn't do anything, just lots of dog walks. Saturday I wasn't supposed to run because I knew I wasn't doing the run on Sunday, or the big long run that the Alban app had me down. I did do like five and a bit miles.
That must be wrong, because if you listen to them on the podcast, they're not doing that a week after.
Well, there's only so much an app can do. I've never used like Runner and that kind of system.
I'd be interested to see how it compared to Runner. I did think I'd quite like to have a look at, because I only heard really negative things about all these apps. Yeah. So I was like, I would like to have a look at it, but I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, it'd be nice to start doing some miles again. I don't really run for mental health, but I definitely do have a better day, I think, when there's some...
I think so. I totally hear you. I hear you. I agree with you. And it is better. And especially as we get older, the week off is fine. But then you do need to get moving again, because everything needs oiling up a little bit. The old getting out of the car.
But it's crazy. Like, I felt pretty up and about, pretty trim and slim going into 7 Valleys. But now I just feel like a fat, dirty slob.
I think, but that's also your choice of...
I've got no off switch.
Nutrition.
I've got no off switch. TV, you might have watched this. Have you program called The Detectorists?
Nope.
Eddie, definitely, 100%.
Oh, okay.
How can I describe
Detectorists. I'm adding it to my list to do.
You know, I'm really fond of Bob Mortimer and Paul Whitehouse Gone Fishing.
You see that as you and me when we stop
when
running.
We make it big.
When we get our ITV deal. We can just go fishing. We don't have to go running anymore. And we could take the dogs. What's Lindy done? Where's she gone? Don't film this. Oh my God, what's that in her mouth? Rex and Taki just chilling by all the snacks, having the sausages.
Rex does not chill.
Oh, Rex. Okay, Rex and Lindy, absolutely up to what we just like, where they gone? We're like, don't film this. I don't know where they've gone, but we can hear.
We ask our guests, like, where are you going to take us? What's the vibe? What's the cafe? Local highlights. That could be it. We could go and rock up somewhere, have a little chat. They take us for a run, find a bit more about them, then we go for a cuppa.
I think if we're going to do a television programme, you need to fit back in that belt first, because remember, the camera adds 10 pounds.
Oh, imagine that. Like, I get quite sensitive. Like, this week was a particular overload because I had to do lots of recording and listening to myself for hours and hours and hours. Imagine watching yourself as well.
Love it. I would do that on loop to zoom in. Just look at that incredible skin.
Anyway, I'm trying to give people I'm trying to give people a TV recommendation. So it's that kind of slow pace.
This is why I like it.
But it's funny. It's 30 minutes of gold. There are some things
kids
to think
like
about. Yeah, there's nothing way out there that you want to kind of get the kids out the room from. So yeah, Detectorist, sad times. Monday's guest, that's coming up. We are Friday now. Monday's guest, Carolyn and Carwyn. They invited us to join them at the Preseli Beast for 2026. I've checked my planner and I've already entered a race on that weekend. May is super busy. I've got a friend who's penciling in a Bob Graham round 2. I know it's crazy thinking 2027, but currently there's not even light pencil on the 2027 calendar. So maybe, a little weekend in Wales in May 2027. But I have entered a couple of other races, Hardmoors, Farndale and Wainstones Trail Marathon. So the next one up for me for Hardmoors is Saltburn. And what a lovely place to go for a recce. So I think I'm going to have to explore that area of the course just to get, like I was with Wainstones, although I never ever did Wainstones, I could nail that route without even a GPS watch on. Also, maybe like a night out. So you do one day Saltburn, one day Northern Traverse.
I love that idea. I was thinking about Northern Traverse recce's and thinking, I don't really want to do too much on the course because I've run it twice.
Well, you're blessed. You've got wonderful trails near you. You can get the elevation. You can get the elevation. You can get all of that. The nav on the course, the tiny bit that I did from Kirby Stevens, I think the signage has improved quite a lot. I know the Dales isn't the Moors.
That's because Matt's doing it next year.
Yeah.
He's like, I need to get these paving stones up around here. I'm not going through those bogs.
So I'm lucky I can crush the Moors. That's very low-hanging fruit for me to get out on that part of the course. But yeah, you've done it. You don't really need to. You can get all the elevation ratios.
Yeah, you're saying that. Don't do that, Eddie. No, don't bother about that. Get your 30 litre on.
Thank you, Precision Fuel and Hydration, for supporting Brew with the Coaches. Their website and newsletters are such a good source of knowledge, articles to read, and YouTube content to binge on too. On YouTube, you can learn how to fuel an ultramarathon, what pro runners carry on race day, and how to nail your marathon prep. Precision Fuel and Hydration helps athletes personalize their hydration and fueling strategies so they can perform at their best. They will help you know your numbers too. They have a handy free online sweat test and nutrition planner. Head over to www.precisionhydration.com and don't forget patrons can enjoy 20% off. But if you would like to try Precision Fuel and Hydration, then you are in luck. Use the code TEATIME2025 for 15% off your first purchase. I'm a bit light on sports fuel chats lately.
I was just thinking that I've got loads of sports fuel because I bought loads and then didn't use it for Race Across Scotland. And then I've not really been, I took a gel the other week. That was just because I wanted to take a gel. I've not really been using it.
Do you want to take a gel?
I just wanted to feel normal, Gary. And I've got boxes of it, and then I was like, it's going to start going off. We should start the sort of like injured runners, like a food bank, but you put your sports nutrition in, and so like if people are injured or they're not running or they hate that gel, then you can put it in. You're like, I'm never going to use that one again, and you can swap with people. Would that be a good idea? He's not sold on it. Anyway, I am keeping on top of my electrolytes because the sweat of bikes, and I only do about 6 minutes worth of sweating work on the bike, but I think because my body's not used to it as well.
Have you got a fan in your dungeon?
No fan. The garage just has got the garage door open though, so it's not hot. It's just that I'm creating the heat because I'm trying to push literally 0 watts and I'm so unfit.
I was on the stepper yesterday and I left my hydration vest on because I thought it'd be good to carry the fluids.
You're such a loser. Oh my God.
Anyway, I noticed because there was
Did you have nothing on under the vest? Did you just have the vest and some really short shorts?
My out of shape current body.
With the belt and then just rolls.
Oh, what a look. What a look that would be, naked with me belt on. But I noticed because there was no like air cooling me down, my temperature
so hard
through the roof.
It's not good. You should have a fan unless you're heat training.
This week's question comes from Carolyn Watkins. Hello there. I'm a 33-year-old cardiac nurse and mum of 2 boys and have been running for around 6 years, following in my dad's footsteps. I've completed races like UTS 100k, the Arc of Attrition 50 miler this January, and I'm deep into training for the Dragon's Back race in 2025. Training has been going well with lots of recce's and time on feet. However, the week to 10 days before my period each month, I'm completely wiped out. Even steady runs at tiring and my legs feel so tired. I'm a coached runner, and whilst my coach is very understanding and normally plans an easier week, I'm wondering how I would cope if Dragon's Back or any other big race fell on the week before my period. With only months before Dragon's Back, I don't really want to start any hormonal treatment options, as this may have other implications on my body. I'm already supplementing with vitamin B6, B12 and magnesium, but have not noticed much difference yet. I'm wondering if there's anything else I should try, or is it a case of just pushing through? I fuel all my sessions well, thanks Precision Fuel and Hydration and Tea and Trails with a hefty discount code, so it's more than a fueling issue. Well, we spoke to Carolyn a few weeks ago now, Eddie, and unfortunately Carolyn DNF'd the Dragon's Back race, but it wasn't because of this issue. Kim, is this a common story for female athletes?
Yeah, it's really common. As a cardiac nurse, she probably knows all the ins and outs and science of it anyway, but we'll have a little reminder. So 7 to 10 days before your period you're in the luteal phase, you're in the second phase of your cycle. So this is where I'm assuming she's got a sort of standard length cycle for the purposes of this question. So this is going to be coming after ovulation. So ovulation, all your hormones like peak and then they drop quite rapidly again. So your hormones, estrogen, testosterone and progesterone all fall. But what we get after ovulation in this period is your progesterone is higher than your estrogen and your testosterone. So progesterone is it's the hormone you need to basically get you ready to have a baby. It's got a lot of great things to it, but it's also kind of sucky at this point in your cycle, because what it does is it kind of brings everything down. So you have less energy, you might start to get more anxious, doubt yourself, feel insecure, your serotonin is lowered. So it's hard for you to feel like bouncy and fresh at this point for most.
I call it the black dog hormone.
It's kind of, yeah, it's a bummer, isn't it, basically? It's doing a job, but it doesn't feel great. Another thing that progesterone does is it's catabolic as well. So you can't, at this phase in your cycle, not only can you not build muscle, but your muscles are going to feel more fatigued just because they're kind of getting used differently. So there is some real valid stuff going on in your body that makes you feel like this. Some people don't get it. Some people get it worse than others. Some people it's different stages. But if it's around that stage and you've got a normal length cycle of sort of 28 days, that's probably what it is. It does kind of suck. And it is the kind of the phase in your cycle where in a perfect world, you would take more time to rest properly, maybe not do harder sessions. You can do harder sessions. It's just going to feel harder. You can do longer sessions. It's just going to feel harder. There are things that you can do to maybe try and mitigate that, such as you're already taking some really useful supplements. I would ask if you take like a omega-3 as well, and omega-6, so maybe flaxseed oil or fish oil can sometimes help. You can try, I wonder if you haven't already, try some creatine, because the effects of creatine on your muscles might not counter the progesterone effects, but they would help certainly over time, because creatine helps you to build that muscle. So if you're building more muscle, maybe that catabolic effect of the progesterone won't be as intense. Also, I know for myself and for a few other people that we coach, it does make you feel clearer and sharper. So if you're getting down on yourself and that's kind of exacerbating the muscle soreness and the fatigue, it's a big cycle, isn't it? It can sometimes help to have that sort of mental clarity and go, well, this is why it's happening. It's okay. I would take the time to rest and recover properly if we can. You don't need to sort of cycle your training in that way. You don't need to be going, well, on this week, this is going to happen. It needs to be a bit more on feel. So even coached runners can do that. You just need to talk to your coach about it and just say, I'm not feeling it this week. I'm going to bump that a couple of days or something. There's something like Dragon's Back, maybe didn't go as you wanted this time, but really slow moving stuff is really nice. It's good for you to get out and do that kind of thing when you're feeling like this. But what you do need to do, you say you fuel your sessions well. I'm wondering about fueling day to day as well. You do need more food at this period. You do burn more energy, and progesterone, it's, not helping you bump that up. So if you fuel a little bit more in daily life as well as on your sessions, and you do need, if you're craving carbs, eat some carbs. You need that extra bit of fuel. The last thing I would say, maybe a bit woohoo for some people, but this is a phase.
But it's Kim, so we expect it.
I'm going to say it. We can't just sort of put everything down to science and fact, and this is what should be happening and this is what I need to do to tackle it. Something that really helped me personally is learning about how I feel at each different phase, why I feel that way, and then accepting it for what it is. The fact that you're having a period is brilliant. It shows that you're really healthy, you're doing everything right if you're having a period and your body is doing what it needs to do. and what it should be doing. So as women in this kind of linear black and white world of training and racing, it can be really hard sometimes to fit into that. We need to remember that we are not linear. We're like this. I'm waving my hand up and down for people that are listening. It's not predictable. It's really cool, actually. We can be a lot more connected to our bodies and to everything that's going on around us if we tune into it and don't see it as an inconvenience. It's a really amazing thing that our bodies do every single month. If you can kind of flick it a little bit and see it as, this means I'm very healthy, it means everything's normal and everything's going really well. I just need to look after myself a little bit more, try and rest a little bit more properly, not just distracting yourself with telly. That might help as well. I say I'm an N of 1, but it definitely helped me to look at it like that.
I think the education is like key. If you understand what, you're not doing that questioning of which you're already doing because the black dog is hanging around and you're already questioning yourself. But if you understand the science, I think tracking your cycle like you are, Carolyn, is so important. And if you don't track your cycle as an athlete, do, because you can just put the pieces together. And every month I go, oh yeah, that's why I felt rubbish. I would say when you do something mega, a mega race as well, you're going to feel completely different because you're not in day-to-day life as well. So you'll actually maybe find that the adrenaline, the cortisol, everything that is the other hormones are going to pull you through that event as well. So you might find that, like, being away from day-to-day chores and working and training, that actually you're so focused on the event and what you're doing that you will maybe feel a little bit different. I wouldn't worry about it. Don't fixate on it because it will become a thing, just like Kim says. The other thing is, the really important thing as well, is to focus on the fuel, because you do need more carbs. You burn carbs quicker, so you'll go through your glucose quicker. And you'll know this, so women as well, if you do your long run and you're sort of like that week before you get your period, often you suddenly find you feel hungry much quicker, or you just feel more hungry, and you feel hungry for the rubbish stuff. You just got to feed the black dog. He's like a Labrador, and you can give him whatever he wants to make yourself mentally and physically feel better. So really good advice from Kim there. Fuel, feel good, know that it's just normal, and probably in a big event or in a race, you are, especially a multi-day, you actually might find that you drag yourself through it, and you often find you might not get your period then, or you might get your period, the whole cycle will go out of sync anyway. And so unfortunately that's just part of it, but there's those little things that you can do. You didn't mention it, Carolyn, on the podcast, so I wonder how it went, but perhaps for people planning and knowing when their cycle is coming for races as well, really important to do as well. We'll point you towards, as ever, Stacey Sims' book Raw, which has a really good explanations on training with your cycle, how you can adapt your training, how you can change your training, and also what's going on in the body.
Good luck, Carolyn.
Thanks, Harrier Trail Running, for sponsoring our Strava Club and Tales from Trail section. I did some Strava kudos this week, Gary, and I set myself a little parameter. And it was, if people had given a title to their run, a little bit of extra work into Strava, they got some kudos from Eddie. Yeah. So then I thought, what parameter shall we set next week?
Dog pics.
Dog pics. Oh, but if you don't have a dog, that's not fair. Any nice pic, sunrise, sunset, nice bit, you're going to get some kudos. Harrier is the UK's fastest growing brand for trail runners, providing specialist kit designed for superior fit, comfort and function with the best customer support. Check them out for race vests, waterproof poles and other trail essentials at www.harrierrunfree.co.uk. You can also download your free copy of How to Run an Ultra Guide. Use code T10 for 10% off site-wide, or check out their brilliant trail running bundles for 20% off. And this is the top that we're interested in at the moment, the Thorpe. Wonder why it's called the Thorpe. Let's ask Kate. The Thorpe Ultra Fine Merino Base Layer, built for trail runners who demand comfort, performance and versatility in all conditions. The lightweight layer delivers exceptional softness, breathability and durability. Available for pre-order now, just in time as we head into the winter, over at www.harrierrunfree.co.uk. I love a base layer at this time of year.
A cosy merino base layer.
And you can pull it over your hands if it's just a little bit too warm for gloves when you're starting out. And then also, if you take it off, it's easy to tie around. It's not like a big sort of like mid layer, which if you have around your waist, it really messes with my 10-minute miles. But my merino layer, you can just get it off, tie it around your waist. Love that.
First up in the Strava Club is Peter Harrison, 114.7 miles with the longest run of 104.7 miles. I've obviously copied and pasted that vert wrong. 125 feet is not correct. That was the Charm Bracelet 100. I've got Peter's description here. Watch died at 18 hours, so manual upload it is. Okay, that's why it's 125 feet. Finish time, 26 hours, 19 minutes and 14 seconds. Tough night out in Storm Amy. Everything soaked, which led to a bit of chafing on my back. Short stayed dry. A few navigation errors late on after my watch died. I did a good 5k and thought they were going to cost me the lead. Struggled getting food in at the later stages and had to take a few minutes out to force down a flapjack. Why do we do it, Eddie? Why do
Were you feeling? I'm feeling miserable for Peter. There's no joy yet in this. Come on, keep going. Let's see where it goes.
Filthy night. Fortunately, there were bananas at the aid stations, which I could manage. Hadn't done much in the way of long runs in the lead up to this race, which showed at the back end of the race. Really had to push hard to keep running and not walk it in. Great result with the win. Now everything hurts, which shows I need to get in the long stuff too in the next build-up. I think regardless of getting in the long stuff, everything would hurt anyway after 100.
Yeah, when I was reading that, I was like, I think you did really well. Don't beat yourself up there, Peter. You stayed out in a storm. Some people would call that dumb. Hope you weren't hit by a rogue football goal from Scotland.
But all those filthy, I don't know the exact route, but I see pictures of the charm bracelet, which is on the Cleveland Way, right on the course.
I wondered where it was. Okay. Oh my gosh. Every step you're slipping.
Yeah.
You're slipping. Oh, kudos. Don't be down on yourself.
Come away with a win, though. That is incredible. Next up is Andrew MacArthur, 58.8 miles for the week with the longest run of 26.2. If you're going to do a marathon, an event, and it measures in a 26.2, that is exactly the numbers you want to see. Total elevation of 3,133 feet. Unenjoyable Isle of Wight marathon. I wonder what it was, Andrew, that made it so...
Was he on the bottom coast path along the roads?
I looked at it into his Strava details. So mile 2 was 8:28 minute mile, and his last mile was 8:16. There's obviously a lot of stuff going on in between there. But for your last mile to be pretty similar to your second mile, that's incredible. Good job, Andrew. Good job. Last up is Nicole Funnell, 59.7 miles for the week. Longest run of 47 miles and 810 feet of vert. This is a request to follow. So I wonder what she's been up to. I did check. There was the Manchester Backyard Ultra. No. You've got some dates.
Oh, yeah. She's mine. Guess how long that run took her?
8 hours.
6 hours.
Whoa, Nicole.
Big kudos. I won't share any more, but
that
was
is super rapid.
Exciting times ahead for Nick. She did message me yesterday saying, I wish I had the kettle. I think she was upstairs and she was like, kettle's downstairs. I was like, you will learn, my friend, the kettle needs to come by your bed.
So yeah, I don't want any more deets. It's not fair to share, but did she do an event or this is a training?
Yes, so it was an event, 6-hour race in Switzerland, and she ran a great race. So kudos. So proud of her.
Well done, Nicole. Well done. Heavy Flex. Hello, I've emailed to tell you about my mum and her amazing achievements. We are on our way up for her next marathon.
Rolling eyes emoji. Do you think this comes from a teenager? I'm like, is this a teenager?
Well, I'm super impressed that Johnson emailed in. I don't think my kids would.
I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
She is trying to qualify for London after a few months ago running 100 miles. She is quite the idiot. But so impressive. But not just a runner, also a hard-working single mum. She's called Naomi Lunn and listens to all your shows. That is impressive, Naomi. What's the most impressive? Going for a London Good for Age or even championship, or listening to all of the Teen Trills podcast?
Single parenting. I think that is the most impressive. And you must have brought up a lovely son if he's found out what you listen to. And he's listening to what you're saying and he's messaged in. And so kudos to him too. I like that. I think we should start a new segment, messages from kids to parents doing races. Oh, we'd be weeping, Gary. We're reading it out. Oh, this is Charlotte. This is a voice note for Dad.
Good luck, Daddy.
Dad. Oh, no, my God.
Yeah. If you have a mate who's flexed or orbited the sun, one more time, then email hello@tntrills.com. You need to pop heavy flex or birthday shout out in the subject or we might miss it. Tales from the trails.
Hi, Eddie and Gary. I was inspired to take on the Lakeland 50 after listening to the podcast. Well, it was eventful. Oh, I read that first as well. It was awful. And I was like, oh no. Oh my goodness. All started good, apart from mile 15 when my foot got stuck and I tripped over and bashed my knee, but I got patched up at the Howtown checkpoint. It started getting dark between Kentmere and Ambleside, so I decided to stop, eat some mashed potato and find my headlight. Very good work. Unfortunately, I must have left the light on after testing it as it wouldn't work. I thought, don't panic. I knew my spare would get me to Ambleside where I can find my battery pack, then stopped again as thought I could start charging it while walking, only to find I must have left my charger somewhere en route. Got to Ambleside, sorted out my head torch, went for half a mile, realising my watch was needing charging. How would I know when to eat and drink? Thought I'd better go back and call it a day. Got back to Ambleside and was loaned a charger and told to rest while it was charging. Well, that was where it all went wrong. I started throwing up and temperature plummeted. I burst into tears and said I can't continue. Once again, I was told no, we have loads of time to warn you up. They gave me a woolly hat, a dry robe, a hot water bottle and took me for a sleep. 2 a.m. I was checked on and was still frozen, given another hot water bottle. 3 a.m. I woke up and thought I've got time to finish this. Was given a cup of tea and food, was told I had 2.5 hours to get to Chapel Style. I could do it. Chasing cut-offs the rest of the way, beaming with joy as I reached each checkpoint, with one thing going through my head: I am doing it. I'm getting this done. Finishing in 23 hours and 46 minutes. It was great seeing my husband there along the Ambleside Angels. Believe and you can achieve anything. Best wishes, Susie. Wow, that's a big good comeback. You'd have put the can in.
Yeah, I sacked it off straight away. To be bashed up at Howtown and to come back. Multiple rallies. Fantastic. Thank you, Protein Rebel, for bringing us home. Gentle on your stomach and driving your performance. Whether you're trying to get a PB, training for your first marathon, breaking world records dressed as a rhino, or completing your 10th ultra, Protein Rebel's products are easy to digest with no artificial additives, providing both performance and overall health benefits. Use the code T15 for 15% off your first order over at www.proteinrebel.com. Patrons can enjoy 15% off every order. You need to pop over to Patreon for that discount.
I made my post-bike smoothie way too thick. I was rushing around, Gary. I really missed my smoothie when we didn't have any power. I mean, talk about first world problems. Excuse me, when would you be putting my power back on? I really need my protein and collagen smoothie. I made it too thick this morning. I had to eat it with a spoon because I didn't have enough.
You pimp it up. Did you put anything in, like chia seeds?
Oh, I put I put everything in. I throw the kitchen sink in that smoothie. Must be worth about 20 quid.
I'm certain I don't take enough protein in my diet.
Last week, you absolutely didn't. Yeah. And the fact that you are snacking so much probably shouts at the fact that your body's looking for something, just a vitamin.
I don't snack too much, but when I do snack, it's always white carbs.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of yogurt could be added into that diet in the near future.
Please keep those listeners' questions coming in. Email them to hello@tntrails.com. Hello, team. I've recently invested in a at-home treadmill, heavy flex, mainly due to childcare and work factors. I know it's nowhere near as fun as getting out in the hills, but with having young children at home, no gym near us, and not feeling comfortable running in the dark, feels like a very useful tool. I hear Eddie and Gary talk about their sessions, but I don't really understand the structure or speed versus rest. What is the best way for me to make use of a treadmill if I'm looking to increase overall distance and speed? What does 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 really mean? Thank you all. Christina, you can talk about like the nuances of the workout, but the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is just that's basically the minutes of effort. And quite often we might do 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. And then the rest in between that, I suppose, depends on what you're trying to achieve from the workout too. My classic is, so I'll do 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, and then with maybe 90 seconds or 2 minutes rest between those. And early on, I don't feel like I've got much rest whatsoever with the 5 and the 4 minute sets. But when I'm getting to that 2 minutes and the 1 minutes, the ratio flips. And because the effort duration, that 1 minute, for example, it's not long for me to get my heart rate up to the desired zone or the effort that I want. So I'm progressively getting faster and faster and faster as the workout gets deeper and deeper. So that's the mechanics, the 5 minutes, the 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. The rest is really, I suppose, up to you. But yeah, Eddie, qualified coach. I'm just winging it. I just follow the plan.
Yeah, you do great. Christina, firstly, congrats on getting the treadmill. I got mine when I had young kids too. Best investment ever. Just teach them not to don't come near me. It's great because they can't come near you as well. Don't come near me. You don't go on my treadmill. And you don't come near me when I'm on the treadmill. And you also don't talk to me. But don't run on your treadmill without a session because life is too short for that. So if you do have to run on it and it is just an easy run, I still break it down and I still still will do something like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, but I would just keep it really easy and then easy just to mentally break it up a bit. You can use the hill, so you can use your percentage to do sessions as well. We talk a lot about the uphill treadmill. So 2%, 5%, 10%, you can play around with it a bit, see how you feel. As for the like structure and the speed versus rest, especially if you're maybe a bit new to running as well, be kind to yourself and give yourself loads of rest. The way you'll know that you're getting enough rest between the sessions as well is, say I'm going to do 5 by 3 minutes. I would give equal amount of rest when you first do the session the first time, just so that the 3 minutes is really quality. You feel really comfortable. If you've got a heart rate monitor, a great way is just to watch what your heart rate comes down to in those 3 minutes. If it's sort of 3 minutes, have equal rest. If it's a bit longer and it's 5 minutes, you don't need quite to be there all day. Not got time for that. Go young kids. I would probably give yourself like 2 minutes because you won't be going as fast. You need to sort of play around with the speed and the rest to see what works for you. But some little examples of sessions are, so our classic 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, because you can fit that in half an hour. A sort of hybrid of that is a 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So 3 minutes working, and then you can do equal rest to start off with, and 3 minutes easy, 2 minutes working, 2 minutes easy, and then you can do a little bit slightly less rest. Or if that's really complicated, which some people find that quite, just do the same. So 5 by 3, 6 by 2. Basically, you're looking when you start off for the workout numbers, so faster running, more heartbeat running, to be about 15 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes, depending, but start with about 15 minutes and see how you feel, because you still got a parent after this, and maybe push that up to 20 minutes and you get really good. So you could make that 15 minutes into really anything you want. You can do 10 by 1 minutes with 2 minutes in between, or 10 by 1 or 16 by 1 minutes. But I would always start easier. I always like to say to people when they're new to something like treadmill running or something, start and finish the session feeling you could have done a few more reps. Don't gas it all, because it's quite easy as well when your hamstrings aren't used to the running on the treadmill to be a little bit sore. So start thinking, I could have done another rep, I could have done less recovery, I felt really good after each rep. That's where you want to be when you start doing these sessions and start using the treadmill. And just make a little note in your diary, have a training plan, note your heart rate, note how you felt, and then you've got somewhere to build each week. I love using my treadmill. I think you get quality. It's just like the turbo. You get quality, you mix it up, and you can watch YouTube videos.
Especially through the darker months too, that unpredictable weather. If you're trying to hit
takes away the
speeds
barrier of heading outside as well, doesn't it? And you can I can work much harder on the treadmill, because also I don't want the treadmill like the lady with who said I couldn't climb the tree. She was right, but I won't let the treadmill beat me as well. I think it might be worse than me. Don't listen to that, Christina. Good luck. Let us know how you get on. What's happening? You're back in full in Northern Traverse training already next week. You're probably going to recce 3 days.
Where do you go from there? Yeah, where do you go from there? So yeah, back on the Alban app. The load for the week, apart from the weekend, I think it's pretty achievable. Easy runs, a bit of prehab, a bit of cross training if I want to. It does have the long run at the weekend, but I've got a spanner in the works. There's not a spanner in the works. It's going to be good, actually. I've said it multiple times, these short races, especially the team race, it does freak me out, but I'm going to just suck it up. I've got Druidge Break cross country on Sunday, and it clashes. Part of me would use that, okay, I'm recovering from a big race, I'm not going to do it. But it does clash with the local race, which is very close to Sedgefield. So Sedgefield might struggle with numbers. Like last weekend when they raced, when I was doing the Seven Valleys, and I obviously had a very good excuse not to be there, we've got some new blood in the team, and I don't think I would have scored, which is brilliant, because that really takes the pressure off me from turning up. But if we're going to be struggling with numbers, then yeah, and if I'm available, I should go and show my face. Question for you, coach. I just wanted a body that looks incredible.
You don't do ultra running.
What would you recommend?
Shall I tell you what gets me the most jacked up? Evie watched a picture of me doing pull-ups when I was injured and I couldn't run for a while, and I did a ton of pull-ups and kettlebell swings, and I have a rippling six-pack, Gary. I think pull-ups and kettlebell swings.
I want a weapons grade body for Northern Traverse.
I think a lot of it is down to nutrition over actually what you're actually putting in. But as Bryn always says to me, like, it doesn't matter what the what the body looks like. It's what you can do with it.
Trying to a little bit more focus on the nutrition, thinking about the plan. Yeah, all eyes on Northern Traverse.
Shut up.
Too soon?
There's no eyes on it.
100%.
You'll be too soon. You'll peak too early. You've got 6 months pretty much, Gary.
That's as long as I need. It's that scary a challenge. That's as long as I need.
It's easy. It's just a long walk. I'm not going to say what I'm going to do because I'm not going to do any of it because the whole life is just going to get in the way. So I'm just going to carry on. I'm happy in my garage, jogging around, trying to stay alive. It's the end of almost a 3-week parenting solo. Let's call it an adventure. I've got some apologies to make when Bryn comes back because I've sent some really mean WhatsApps. With some emojis of my feelings. But it's been tough, Gary. We've had a lot to deal with. So I'm looking forward to him coming back and somebody else unpacking the dishwasher.
Do you ever delete kisses? You should never delete a kiss from a text.
Never. Everybody gets kisses. Even some of my clients that perhaps were not at that stage and they'd never sent me a client, I always send them kisses. No, every message should end with a kiss. When do you not send a kiss?
Don't delete the kiss.
Yeah, delete the kisses. So yeah, I'm just going to carry on doing what I'm doing. Steady, maintaining the load of energy of work, house, admin. Remembering to add to my Tesco shop before it gets delivered, and then me going, "What? I haven't got anything."
Do you ever have this? My rant at Tesco. We had the Tesco delivery yesterday. They failed to deliver. It was unavailable. A loaf of bread, a wholemeal loaf of bread. You're kidding me. There's not a loaf of bread you could substitute it. There's literally nothing in that shop.
I had it out of my freezer because I had like 6.
They quite often do this though with items that there's obviously a substitute within that shop, but then they'll sub other stuff, which is like, you really subbing that?
Yeah. I get that. I don't
know what's going on there. There's some reason why Tesco do not want to give me an alternative.
Like he's not going to eat it anyway. He's just eating all these toffee crisps. I don't need to send him the bread. Thanks for tuning in. We love you for listening. Share the pod, share the love, pop over to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and subscribe, or even consider being one of our awesome Patreons. Thanks for joining. If you joined, I hope I didn't guilt you into it. You can cancel it again now. Thanks to X Miles.
No, don't cancel.
No, Gary, you got the fear.
Spent it.
We did send a lot of money on bobble hats and for what goes in, goes out again. Thanks to X Miles, Precision Fuel Hydration, Phoenix Light UK, Harrier Training, and Protein Rebel for sponsoring our show. Here's a discount code: T10 2025 for Shocks, T15 for Protein Rebel, T-Time 2025 for Precision Fuel Hydration, and T10 for Harrier Training. Thanks to our partners. We couldn't do this without you and your ongoing support.
Good luck to everybody on the trails, racing, training, recce and solo miles, or even miles with mates. Let the trail or the tarmac rise to meet you, and the wind always be on your back. Be kind to your future self. Breathe and believe. Don't think, just swallow and roll with the joy, and the miles will look after themselves. My name is Gary Thwaites.
And I'm Eddie Sutton.
And that was the Tea and Trails podcast.